In the next few minutes, I will do a forecast for some of the most traded Forex pairs. In this forecast, I will do a technical analysis on pairs such as the Great British Pound against the Japanese Yen, the Euro against the New Zealand Dollar, and the Great British Pound against the US Dollar. I will do a technical analysis, giving you my opinion on the trend and some potential buy and sell areas. And together with that, I will also do a small fundamental analysis, basically going over all of the news events and indicating whether they are of a big importance or not. Alright, welcome back. Let us begin with the technical analysis. The Forex pairs we will do a technical analysis on are the Euro against the Australian Dollar, the Euro against the New Zealand Dollar, and the Great British Pound against both of those, as well as the Great British Pound against the US Dollar and against the Canadian Dollar, and then lastly the Great British Pound against the Japanese Yen. So having said that, let's dive right into this technical analysis. We will begin with the Euro against the Australian Dollar. And in the last week there was some confirmation of the price now maybe going into a consolidation or possibly a downtrend. We had a small trade right here. Got out at, I believe, somewhere around 70 pips. So right now, in my opinion, this area right here, so that would be 1.6090, would be a nice trade. Definitely a day trade. I don't know if it will be a good swing trade because to be honest, there's not much confirmation on what the price will do, if it's a downtrend, uptrend, or consolidation. And yeah, but in either of those cases, I think 60.90 would be a nice buy area, and I think this area, so around 1.56 would be a nice buy area, both if it was to be in a downtrend, then it would be a day trade. But if it goes into consolidation, I think that would be a nice swing trade too. So yeah, that's the Euro against the Australian Dollar. As for the Euro against the New Zealand Dollar, kind of consolidating too, although it is showing some signs of a downtrend. However, I don't think there is too much confirmation of that right now, so a confirmation would be if it would break through the 6,550 area, so the purple box, and then I think a retest of the trend line together with that key area would be a nice trade. But that's really like if it breaks through very well on the daily time frame, so somewhere up until this point, 64.75, and then goes up again, something like that. Furthermore, no other real good sell areas. Then we go to the Great British Pound against the Australian Dollar, which is, it was in an uptrend. It might still be in an uptrend, but it is also showing some bearish signs, breaking through support trend lines right here, and also breaking through key levels. So I think a nice sell area would be the third touch and the trend line crossover right here. So that would be the 87.65 area. I think first of all that would be a nice day trade, but you can also let it run while making it risk-free, so stop loss at break even. And then it could be a nice swing trade as well. I think at least up until the 84.80 point. I think that would be a nice buy. If it continues to be in a downtrend, as it is starting to look like right now, then that's definitely a day trade. It is based on the key level and the 200 EMA, but it might also consolidate a little bit. And then this could be a nice lower bound of the consolidation area. So either way, a good trade, in my opinion. Then we move on to the Great British Pound against the Canadian Dollar. Not much to be said against that. Long term, very much consolidation. We tried to buy right here. Didn't end up working, but it was on Friday, NFP Friday. So in my opinion, you should never trade on that day. I did though, and that was my mistake, so incurred a small loss right there. And to be honest, I think the price would just move sideways for quite a bit. It's at the same range as it was right here. Possibly a nice trade could be taken from the 1.68 and everything below there. But really, I don't see that happening in the next week. Then the Great British Pound against the Japanese yen, which was starting to look like it was going to be in a downtrend, but it actually broke through this resistance trend line. So yeah, that's quite interesting. We can draw another one right here. So yeah, that's quite interesting, but I don't really know. I mean, that it breaks through one trend line or two trend lines in this case, that gives me some sort of confirmation, but I really need to see how the price of this Forex pair opens to really confirm that it is in an uptrend again. Because from here it could also still bounce off of this area and then just go into consolidation again. So basically no setups on this pair, just need to wait it out a little bit. Then the Great British Pound against the New Zealand dollar, which is moving quite weirdly too. I mean, overall it looks like the price is moving sideways, and with the price moving sideways, the 1.92 area would be a good buy in my opinion. But still, in that movement sideways there are some kind of trends, and therefore I think a nice area to sell could also be the 1.98. Yeah, just because of all the confluences there with the break retest of the trend line, the 61.8 FIB, and the key level and the psychological key level in 1.98. So yeah, to be honest, if price keeps moving like this area will become invalid, the 1.98. It really needs to shoot up in a wick and then go down from there. I think this is more likely to be a day trade. And this could be a swing trade, but the price is not looking like it will hit that anytime soon. Then lastly, the cable. I don't really have the same with the Great British Pounds against the Japanese yen. They move quite alike. And while the Japanese yen was showing very bullish momentum, the Great British Pound against the US dollar is really stuck at this 1.36 and around that key level, a resistance area in this case. You could have taken a small sell from here. I think I indicated it, but I didn't officially tell you that that would be a nice sell. But basically I'm awaiting some more some more confirmation of what the trend will actually do. I mean, to be honest, if you look at this, if the 200 EMA aligns with this trend line and also the 1.37, that could be at least a nice day trade. So look out for that, but that will definitely take possibly another week before that aligns. And furthermore, I will just be awaiting some confirmation on the trend, and meanwhile I will also update it on my Instagram if there are any updates to be made. So with that, we have reached the end of this technical analysis, and in the next part I'll do a short fundamental analysis. Alright, so now we'll go on to the small fundamental analysis I'll do. This is not a complete fundamental analysis because I'm not looking at any commodities or such assets. But I will go over the economic calendar, which is very important, I think, when trading in Forex. This week it is not too busy with economic events. I mean, Monday we practically have nothing of importance, nothing. I mean, it is important to see the overall state of the economies of the United States and Canada, but they won't cause any big moves. For Tuesday, the RBA meeting minutes will be important. I just read a small summary of what they have said. And the building permits are indicated as medium importance, but I think they are a little bit more important. So take a look or focus on that, because they might cause a small move at least. Then Wednesday we have a little bit more. Inflation rate for the Great British Pound is important. Balance of trade less important. Inflation rate for the European Union also important, and also for the for Canada, for the Canadian dollar. So take a look at all of those inflation rates on Wednesday and keep them in mind. Then Thursday is a little bit busier. Friday is the busiest day, but Thursday we have a little bit more. The ADP employment change for Canada is important. And then also, as in every week I tell you this, the initial jobless claims and the continuing jobless claims are quite important too. You can also see that the previous has not been updated yet. Not quite sure why. Consumer confidence also important in my opinion. And the existing home sales is also important. So basically, I would not expect these to make a big move, but maybe after this new news event, the outcome of this together with this one could create a nice move up or down. Then we go on to Friday. Friday is by far the biggest day. First four things: the PMI of the Australian dollar, very important. Also consumer confidence in Britain, important too, together with the retail sales. Then looking at all these European countries, I would focus the most on the German PMI numbers and the European composite numbers for the PMI. And also for Great Britain, the PMI, that's important too. That's half an hour later than the Euro PMI. Then we have retail sales for Canada and the PMI for the US dollar. PMI for the United States is important, and the retail sales for Canada are also important. Yeah, that's basically it. So not a very busy week, so I'm not expecting very big moves, at least not in the beginning of the week, but in the end of the week we might get some big moves driven by fundamental news outcomes. So I would keep those in mind, and if you do not like to trade with fundamental things or economic events happening, then I would suggest not to trade on Friday and the end of Thursday. So yeah, that was the fundamental analysis. Thank you for watching and listening. If you have any questions about this total analysis, please make sure to ask me down in the comments, and I will make sure to respond to that as soon as possible. As for now, thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.